Hi everybody, Annie from Myths and Reverence. I've done a video recently about how in the pagan community on YouTube at the moment people are more sharing what they do than what they believe, because there are some bad reactions, like opinions like, oh, how can you believe it? I don't like you. And at the same moment I was asking myself what I will do about my channel, because I have begun it to share with my friends from Season of the Seeker some images and more interactions with them, and it has become more and more sharing about the sessions, about my art, about what I was living. And now that the Season of the Seeker is closed, it has been more difficult for me to imagine what I can share, knowing that there's more people that my Season of the Seeker friends that watch me now. I am happy of it. So, and yesterday I was walking into nature in this beautiful, gorgeous and really more big spring that we have ever had in my life. There is more flowers everywhere on the trees. It's like fluffy everywhere. The leaves are coming even at the same time that the flowers, and yeah, all is blooming and exploding, and it's so beautiful. It smells gorgeous with all the trees that have their flowers. And I was thinking about the correspondence between air and spring in Wicca and a lot of traditions. And in the books, when you begin, there are a lot of correspondences like that, and you don't have the explanations why. And air was the element before Season of the Seeker on which I had the less worked. And the first thing that really ignited the flame of believing inside myself that air comes with spring and comes with the dawn and the sun rising was when I was at a council of the 13 indigenous grandmothers in Sweden, and one of the grandmothers said that air is really this element. If you want to understand it, it's like opening the windows every morning for having this fresh air of the dawn, pure, that comes with so much new energy. And yeah, it has been the first thing that has really made me enter into the air world. And we had a few months of work on air with the Season of the Seeker. And really the spring air for me is, yeah, I understand why air and spring. So first, I have really felt the importance of birds, and really this year, because this winter has been so gentle, there are a lot more of birds, and they are everywhere, flying everywhere, they are singing. And because they are not the leaves now entirely, you can really see them. And because they are in love, they are less careful, so they are everywhere, and they are chanting from the beginning of the day to to twilight. And there's something that is really important into my art every day, but this year it's even more. And bird's eye are with the air element, and there is this scent, this smell, this gorgeous smell that you have only on spring. Really, it's my favorite smell. This, all the flowers, it smells like honey everywhere, even in the village where there are less trees and plants. It's really so good, and it's for the allergies it's not so good, but I really enjoy it. And smell is the sense of, for me, of air, and the chant, the singing of the birds comes with air for me, the voice. And there is also the winds. Here you have really two winds, the north and the south. In winter the north really winds. You have a lot of more north wind in winter that is cold and that is dry, and it makes really the sky blue and all clear and crispy. And you have the south wind that is all about moisture and heat, and we say that it is the wind of the crazy people here, because it makes people crazy. When this is the south wind, people are more nervous and yeah, not great people. We are all like crazy these days. And at the spring it's really the dance between the two winds. You have 2 or 3 days of south winds, and the heat comes up, and there is rain, and there is clouds, you know, things like that. And suddenly, like today, the north wind comes back with this bright clear day and sunny, and it will be like that for 3 days, 4 days, and the south winds will come back, and it will be like that, with the south winning a little bit more every week. And at the end of spring the south wind will be here sadly nearly all the summer, and it will be really hot here, and sometimes there's no wind in the summer. But yeah, for spring, wind is always there, from one side of the or the other. And yeah, every time you are walking you see everything moving, and yeah, I really love that too. And it's really air for me. And from a psychological, emotional thing, really at spring I have new ideas. This time it has been before the official spring, because it has been so springy from December, you know, in here. And so new ideas, new projects, the need to clean and to reorganize the home and the shop and everything. And today I will buy with my parents, it's my birthday presents, some new, I don't know, the piece of wood where you stack all your books, some new ones. So I will reorganize the apartment for making myself a new place, isolated place for me into the house. And I am rewriting up the little cards that we do at the shop about the stones, because they are aged now, like 4 years that we have them, so they have lived a lot of things, and they are colored by the fingers of people. And so I rewrite everything, and it's so great because I rediscover a lot about stones that I had forgotten, and I rediscover stones I really didn't think about anymore. So yeah, you know, great projects, new beginnings, and hope. For me, hope is with air and all this sense of breathing, and it's difficult for me with allergies. All the spring I am allergic for nearly every pollen, I don't know if you say it in English, pollen from trees, so I have made pills for that. That helps me, but you know, really, I am more concentrated on my breathing at that moment because it's more difficult. But it's a good reminder that I have to breathe evenly, and breathing is so important for my whole body. So yeah, I wanted to do this video because for me what I believe is about what I live, what I experience. It's not because it is said in like 10 books that I can have that spring is linked with air, that I will believe it inside of me. Maybe my head will say, oh yeah, it looks logic, at least for here and for me and from my experience. But it's only after years and years of experience and, you know, understanding and sudden wow moments that I can believe inside myself that air is spring. So I was a lot asking myself about my elemental cards, because I have not finished the earth cards, but it felt finished. And why? Because we have come to air, and now I have taken my air cards and I will continue put new cards, and I continue to take one card every day. Today it was the card of the wings that is linked for me to the Peter side, the stone Peter side. And so yeah, sorry for the noise, it is the family that lives down of our apartment. Yeah, so yeah, it's with experience that we believe, I think, and experience with the divine and with the other world. And so, do you believe things like air springs? Do you have some contrary? My point is, I am really interested if you live in another place where spring is so different from the typical European spring. Maybe the elements that you will link to this spring is not the same, and I really would be interested to know what you link to spring, which element. So have a nice springtime until Beltane and I hope it has interested you, and at least it has interested me to think about it for 2 days, about air and spring and the correspondences for me between the two. So have a nice day. See you soon, my friend.